my loves, welcome back to my channel. This is Funmibi here again with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a tutorial on this very beautiful headband that I got a DM from one of my lovers on here. She asked that I show her how to make this particular headband. I'm going to insert a picture of what she sent to me, and you guys, as usual, I always tell you that your wish is my command. So I went straight to work and figured out how to make that headband, and I'm here to just share the tutorial with her and with you all as well. So if you've been interested in knowing how to make this beautiful headgear, please be sure to watch this video to the end, subscribe, like, share, and just do all the other things that I always request from you guys. All right guys, let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so for the purpose of this particular headband, you're going to need to draw a pattern, and I just decided to draft myself one. Making this pattern is very easy. You want to draw two, parallel lines depending on how long you want your own headband to be. But for my own case, I decided to draw two parallel lines measuring 15 inches, and I drew slanting lines in between those two parallel lines just to give me that slanty effect that the headband has. You guys should just kind of watch how I'm cutting my headband right on the paper first of all, just to decide how you want your own to turn out. Like I said, two parallel lines, 15 inches, that's what I used. You can make yours shorter or longer. Then you want to draw slanting lines in between those two parallel lines. The two parallel lines were like 8 inches apart. Feel free to modify it to your own taste, but this is what I have at the end of the day. This is what my slanting pattern turned out to be. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paste that particular pattern on what we call a collar stay. Feel free to use a cloth gum or collar stay or whatever kind of interfacing you want, but you want something very strong, and that was why I decided to use collar stay, because collar stay is really strong. So I'm going to cut that pattern on my collar stay, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. For those who don't know me and are just new to coming to my channel, hi there, my name is Funmibi, and I make videos like this where I share how to make beautiful pieces of items, especially headgears, and just tutorials on how to make different things from the comfort of your home. I show you sewing tutorials here and there, hair tutorials. I just like to do a bunch of different things on here on my channel. So if you are yet to hit the subscribe button, please do well to hit the subscribe button. Also like this video, share with your friends, and just help me by doing either one of these things or even everything I just mentioned. Alright guys, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to cut that exact same pattern on this piece of fabric. This fabric is what we call damask, but this particular damask is very light. It was kind of difficult to work with because it just kept fraying and all of that. But for you guys, when you want to make your own pieces of items, I advise that you use something thick, a thick fabric. And even if you're not using a thick fabric, try to use a fabric that is not going to be fraying like this my damask did. But I was able to work with it. So what I have here is my collar stay, and I'm going to press on my collar stay onto this piece of fabric, and you want to press on the glossy side of your interfacing. So interfacing has a dull side and a glossy side. So it's the glossy side, you're going to face onto the wrong side of your fabric and then press on with your steam iron. So I just did that, and what I want to do now is to turn my first piece of fabric with the second piece. So I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but you're going to cut two pieces of the fabric. So the pattern, you're cutting two pieces on fabric and one piece on interfacing. So what I just did now is I sewed my fabrics right side facing each other, right? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it inside out. I sewed it on 1/4 of an inch. Feel free to sew on 1/2 an inch, but yeah, don't go past 1/2 of an inch. And what I'm doing now is I'm just turning my fabric inside out. With turning inside out with collar stay, it can be a bit difficult because of the nature of that type of interfacing, but as usual, like I always say, just take your time, try and turn your fabric inside out, and everything will be all right. I don't know if you guys can hear the noise in the background. There's some work going on upstairs in my building, so where I live. So yeah, that's that noise that you guys are hearing, so please pardon me for that. Anyway, what I'm doing now is I'm closing the edges of this headband. I basically folded it inwards and I'm pinning it, and I'm going to go ahead to sew on 1/8 of an inch. So I just want to sew very close to the edge of this piece of headgear, and that's what I just did now, and this is what we have here. We're getting to the end of this tutorial gradually. What you want to do next is you want to wrap your headband. So with wrapping your headband, you're using a padded headband first of all, and I have a lot of tutorials on how to wrap padded headbands, how to wrap your regular headbands. I'm going to link something on the screen for you guys, so feel free to go check that out if you know that wrapping headbands might be a bit tricky for you. Those tutorials will be very useful for you. So I already wrapped my headband, and what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to tidy up the edges. I used a piece of elastic just to tidy up the edge of the wrapped headband, and I'm just burning off the flyaways here and there. Like I said, this particular fabric was just fraying and just flying here and there, but everything was sorted out, and this is what our wrapped headband looks like. So what we are going to do now is we are going to wrap up this particular piece of fabric that we sewed and worked on earlier. So what I'm doing now is I'm gathering the center of this my slanted pattern piece basically, and I'm using my needle and thread to just create that gathers in the center point of this fabric. Once I'm done with that, I'm just going to secure the gathers. You guys already know how this goes. I have a tutorial similar to this. I'm going to link some tutorials on the iCard, so feel free to go check those tutorials that I linked after watching this video. So what I'm doing here is just securing the gathers and all of that, and once that is done, I'm just going to cut off the thread that I'm working with, the needle and thread, and this is what we have here. So next up, I want to glue on this piece onto my padded headband. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to figure out the points in which I want to glue it on, and once I was done figuring out the placement of this piece on the headband, I went ahead to apply some glue, and once that was done, I also went ahead to place my piece, like the main headband piece, onto the padded headband, and this is what we have here. And you guys know that I like to always secure my headbands. After using glue, I still go ahead to do some stitches to secure the headband totally, make sure that nothing is going to move around at all. So what I want to do now is I'm going to do some little stitches here and there along the sides of this my main headband piece, and yeah, once that is done, I'm going to go ahead to now start to figure out how I want to embellish this particular headband, because you guys know that I don't like when my headbands are just boring and it just doesn't look very sparkly and nice. So what I did was I decided to go ahead to go through my stash of appliques here and there, and I came up with a particular applique which I'm going to show you guys very soon once I'm done stitching my headband piece onto my padded headband. If you've made it up to this point and you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please do well to smash the subscribe button. Also like this video. Liking this video is very important. It helps to spread my content to other people, so we have new people in the family. So this is the applique that I decided to go with, this gold sparkly piece of applique, and what I'm doing now is I'm just cutting the required piece. So I don't want to put the whole thing, right? Of course I can't use the whole thing, so I just cut out the piece that will be required, and then I'm applying some glue onto that particular piece that I cut off, and I'm just going to go ahead to glue it onto that center piece that we gathered, just to cover up those stitches and those threads flying here and there at that point. And yeah guys, that's pretty much it for this particular tutorial. This tutorial is quite easy. The only tricky part is cutting your pattern, and once you have your pattern, you've cut your fabric and sewn everything, every other thing moves really quickly. So I'm just going to go ahead to just glue the entire piece of applique that I have going on here, and that'll be it for this tutorial. That'll be totally it. I'm going to go ahead to wear this particular piece of headband on myself, so you guys get to see how it's going to look when you also go ahead to make it for yourself or for your client or wherever you choose to make it for. And this is me here with this particular headband. It looks absolutely beautiful and something different from what you typically see all over social media and just everywhere. So major shout out to the person who sent me this picture. Thank you so much for the inspiration for this video. Thank you guys also for watching. Thank you for sticking to this point in the tutorial. If you made it up to this point and you're yet to be subscribed to this channel, I'm sure you enjoyed watching this video, so please be sure to smash the subscribe button. Also give this video a big fat thumbs up. That thumbs up helps YouTube spread my videos to a wider audience, and it just helps to support and grow this channel. All right guys, thank you guys so much again, and yeah guys, I can't wait to see you in the next tutorial this Sunday. Love and appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you. Mwah.